Oh, yeah, here we go in 4, 3, 2, 1. And hello and welcome. It is time to harvest in Hubbard, Nebraska. How's everyone doing? Welcome to the stream. I thought we might hop online, do a little bit of harvesting. I sent a video out earlier today of getting all the equipment together to begin this fall harvest. We've got a lot of acreage to work on, and I'm doing this all solo. And this is a 16x PC only map, Hubbard, Nebraska. And I don't know how long this is going to take because I've never done this before. I've never actually sat down at the game and played through properly. I know my mind, my ADHD or whatever, my attention just never could focus. But now that I'm streaming it, I'm forcing myself to do this. So enough of this mug. Let's jump into the game. Oh, yeah. Beautiful, beautiful map by Texar Gaming. Highly recommend you give it a shot if you can. I've had a lot of people talk to me saying, hey, man, I can't get this to run on my machine. And I get it. Like, it's a beefy map, 16x. It's not even the biggest map that's out there, though. There are some 64x maps, I believe, that exist in the farm sim world. And I don't know. Gosh, I don't know how you would do that. I guess you would have to work with, like, co-ops, multiplayer, get people together to come and help you out. We got a couple people hopping on. Zane, good evening. Graham, good to see you. Welcome. Multiple streams going on for me. I've never done this before. We're going to see if the voice can handle it. I got a little water in front of me. It's a little too late for coffee, but I was craving a little bit of coffee before I sat down, turned the lights on. And hey, check this out. I did get this worked out. Oh yeah, we got the monitor up. But, you know, I don't know. I don't know if this has to be up. I don't know what the rules and regulations are for YouTube streaming. If you got to have the face cam up. We'll leave it up for a little bit. If you absolutely hate it, you just let me know. Zane, well, am I going to do the next build of the farm? I've got a nice long weekend. It's Labor Day weekend in the United States. What does that mean? That means if you work for a company or you are in school, you get Monday off. So I've got a nice long weekend. I think I'm going to go ahead and do another build. We're going to get into a build, and I build your farm. Not tonight, but this weekend. So if you've been waiting. Graham, hey, you're asking if I have Discord, if I wanted to play some FS22 sometime. Yeah, I'd love to give it a shot, but I'm going to tell you, I've never done it before. I've actually had Ronnie Gold from Ronnie Gold Games sent me over his Discord and server that he had rented. I guess you rent them or buy them or lease them or whatever. Never could get it to work. Just had major connection issues. So I mean, I think I should probably start small with the multiplayer, because what does it take? It takes everybody having the same mods, having the same map, having a dedicated server. You got to have proper mods too, right? That are cross-platform, or not cross-platform, but that'll work. I don't know. I'm not that computer savvy sometimes. My mind doesn't get into those details, but I'm learning. I am learning. Brett, good evening. How are you? Thank you so much. I'm glad it's looking good for you. We're going to harvest. I'm just kind of getting started here. It is October 1st. I'm playing a 7-day months. This is, right now I've got it set at 2x speed, and I think it's okay to change the speed a little bit. You know, when there's not a whole lot going on, I might bump that up to like 5 or 6x. But when there's a ton of stuff going on, I'm going to keep it probably in the 2x range, because it actually, gosh, I started harvesting. I cut open a couple of fields this morning, got some of the headlands, one of the bean field, one of the cornfield, way up on the northern part of the map, and it takes a lot of time. But now I've got a confession to make, and I'm sorry. I am sorry. I made a change. And I said early on that I wouldn't do major changes to the map. But hear me out. I got to explain why I did this. Animal triggers. Something happened. So I had I'll show you all what I was using. So we'll come in here to the game editor or the map editor, and I was using this current cow barn. It's called the Cow Barn XL. I had this. I thought it was a fairly cool cow barn. I liked it. Like, it fit this map fairly well, and it was positioned right about here. Right? It was working great. I thought it was really, really nice. I was very, very happy with it. Something happened, and I could not get it to start. It accepted TMR initially, but then the triggers for it went all over the place. I was pulling in the wagon, and sometimes it would throw up the little trigger to unload. Sometimes it wouldn't. And then I couldn't get straw to actually go into it. So I thought, that's not good. That's not good. And then my creative mind took over. So let me walk you through the changes, all right? It's not, well, it's pretty substantial, actually. So let's just run over here real quick before we get out to the fields and start harvesting. Still chickens. But there is now a freestall barn here, rotated 90 degrees from where it was. And then I've got this old school free, or tie stall, I guess it would be. I haven't quite figured out what free stall, tie stall. I kind of get it, I kind of don't. But I put these in. I had to. And they have been working actually fairly well. I'll jump back into the map editor here and I'll show you. Sorry, I got a little something in my eye. We've still got the same amount of cattle. We've still got the same general configuration of the farm, still in the exact same area. I didn't change any landscaping. I didn't change any major build. I just took out that mod that wasn't working correctly, and I put in 2 additional barns. I think it'll be okay. So now I'm going to stop. And not add anything. Let's check the chat. Chat, how we doing? Brett, was your PC build still cheaper than buying like an Apex Gaming? Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yes, it was. So if you go out, I don't have it readily available right now, but if you go out to With the Stovers community page, I've got a post a couple of weeks ago on the actual build. And what I installed in it. So it is a Ryzen 7 7700X with a AMD 7900 GRE graphics card. It's got 32 gigs of RAM, 2 terabyte hard drive. It's a fractal case. And I got all of this either from a local micro center here in Indiana or through Amazon Prime Days. Got really, really, really lucky and did a combo deal. All in on the PC. And I think it's running great. You know, we were at like that $1,500 to $1,600 range, which you could go crazier. I think you could go a lot crazier if you had like a 4090 or a 4080 in it. But I went the AMD route. And I'm happy so far. I'm very, very happy. It's not an extreme build, but it's running really, really well. And I got to do it myself. That's one thing that's really nice is I got to do it myself. So I hope that answers your question. Graham, your grandpa's farm was worth about $4 million. That is spectacular. That is awesome. If I remember, so if I go back into the memory bank, I believe your grandfather's farm, was it the horse farm that you sent me? I think it was, if I'm not mistaken. All right, what do we need to do? So it's noon here in Hubbard. I'm going to hop in the old Pete, and we're going to get out to the farm, or out to the field. And this is the super cool thing about this map. It takes us a while to get out there, which is sometimes cool, sometimes not cool. But I've got the Pete, the 389. I think this is a 389. Beautiful mod, actually. Found this on itch.io. Very, very, very nice. There's a lot of nice Pete mods out there. This one has, what I thought was really cool about it, though, it has working gauges. So you can see, I'll slow down here for just a moment. We'll pull over to the side. So fuel gauge works, tack works, coolant temperature works. That was awesome. We look over here. So if I put it in neutral, it's got an 18 speed in it. I put it in neutral so you can watch the fuel filters getting pressure. The suspension load, it's getting air pressure to it. So you can see that. The rear and front axles have temperature monitors on them. I don't know. Look, the coolant temperature, it's gone up. Then there's my turbo. No, that can't be my turbo. Is it my turbo? That would be a ton of pressure going through that. No, that's oil pressure. I was about to say. So lower left-hand corner is oil pressure. Just really, really, really nice mod. And yeah, the Peterbilt screen blinks. I think we've determined that that is part of the mod. Like some textures in mods, they flicker. Uh-oh, I don't want to do that. Must have hit something on the keyboard. It popped up. It went boop. It wanted me to, like, map something. You know, I see in the chat, Zane and Graham, you're talking about your grandfather's farms. One thing I was joking about a long time ago with some other farm tubers, grandpas and grandmas, they are like, you don't want to be a grandpa or grandma on farm sim because you're constantly dying, constantly having to give up your farm. Someone's always taking over your farm. Someone's always buying your farm. Like, to be a grandparent in farm sim is really, really not a good thing. That's a joke. It's a bad joke, but and I'm guilty of it too. Or we do a role play story of I bought Grandpa's farm. I like to always say no grandpas were harmed in the making of this video. Did I just drive by it? I was looking down. I wasn't paying any attention, and I drove by the field entrance. All right, so we're out here on fields. Let me pull it up. This is 31 and 30. Now, field 31 is soybeans, and I'll tell you what, the yield is terrible. I'll show you how the yield is going as I get down here. Down in this kind of valley, it's a little better. But overall, pretty terrible yields. And I think that is just because, again, you get into this map and everything's already planted for you. You didn't get a chance to fertilize. You didn't get a chance to do anything. So we come over here and take a look. This is a 200-acre soybean field. And that's what I'm talking about with this Hubbard, Nebraska map. It is massive, 200 acres. And I did have to kind of experiment a little bit. I've got the older John Deere, what is this? This is a 9870 STS with a bullet rotor. Really, really nice mod. I had the Airflex on here, the Honeybee, and it was a 50-foot Honeybee. Had a Prairie Air system on it. Had a dual Prairie Air system on it, actually. And it was too rigid, just absolutely too rigid. Would not... There's so many hills and dips and undulations in this map, it would not cut right. So I sold it and I picked up a flexible, what is the model number on this? This is what is this? HD45F head with a wind system on it. And this just flexes and it gets into those ups and downs so well, and has been doing really quite well. Let me get this fired up, let it get warmed up, and then we'll run across the road. And so half of my cornfields are ready, half of them are not. All the soybeans seem to be ready, but I thought we'd start in the furthest fields from the house, and it just so happened to be this particular 31 and 30. So over here, this is 100 acres of corn. So you can see I've got my work cut out for me. And again, I'll throw the map up there in the lower left-hand corner of the screen. You're going to see we're at 31 and 30. So 31, that's 200 acres. And 30 is 100 acres. What does this entire map have for tillable acreage? I don't know. Let's check the chat. How we doing, chat? We got a couple of folks that have come in. We got MRCS007 in the house. Good evening, my friend. How are you? And we've got El Paso, Texas. Good to see you. Let's read through this here. So, hello, I saw your train video, and I did download the mod for my PC. Why can't I spawn the track if I don't own the yard? Why can't you spawn the track if you don't own the yard? So, are you trying to... I don't know. I don't know. You should be able to. So the way the train mod works, and I'll just show you here while we're letting this equipment warm up. So you realistically do need to own the land you're going to plant or put the mod on, unless you have, I believe there is Terraform, Paint and Terraform Anywhere. That is a mod that is available from the in-game mod hub. I believe it's PC only. That allows you to paint and terraform anything. So if you don't own it, you can still move it around. You can paint it and do everything. But if you want to lay down the track, you realistically need to own the land that you're putting it on. And you don't have to spawn the track. You just come into the map editor like this. You come over to your decorations. And they are Jay Weezy's train mod, and you find whatever track. We'll scroll over to it here. Find whatever track you want. Come on, where is it? Too many mods, my friends. Too many mods. There we go. So here is a 20-meter, 2% incline track. And you just put it wherever you want. And you just lay it down like a placeable object. Now, I'm not going to place this down because I don't want it to terraform my land, but you've got to be very, very careful because the land, the hills and valleys of the land are really going to change where you can put your track. I hope that helps. I don't know if that helps or not. Now, to spawn your locomotives, I highly recommend you get a mod called Store Deliveries. Store Deliveries is going to let you change where you can have stuff spawn. So if that's what you're talking about, you can. I've got mine mapped to like Shift Option S, and I'll show you that real fast as well. So if I come out of the map maker, I can come over here, and I can say Shift Option, and that little circle's going to pop up right here, and then I can hit S. That saves it. So now this section right here, that is now where the store is. So if I go in and buy something, let's go buy something cheap. What should we buy? What should we buy? Well, let's buy a... Do I need anything while I'm out here? I don't think I do. Well, we can buy something in miscellaneous. Let's buy this trailer. It's $8,000. So we buy this trailer. Hit yes. We can now fetch it at the shop, but the shop is right there instead of the actual shop that's in town. So that's what you need to do with your locomotives is lay your track out and then have your locomotive spawn right in your store deliveries area. And then here's the critical part. So this is kind of annoying. Let me come out of this. I think this is important to talk about this. So poor Jay Weezy, he's got the train mod. He's got a spectacular mod package of trains, locomotives, cars, you name it, tracks, switches, everything you could want or need to make your own map. Problem is they're a little heavy. They're really, really heavy for the locomotives to properly run along the track, turn, pull things. They're very, very heavy. So he had to modify a easy development control, and he had an easy development mod that changed super strength, and all it did was change the maximum allowable weight of super strength that you could pick an item up on. And he had it out there, and I guess there was a conflict with the original modder. Didn't like it, and they might have tried to come to an agreement. Unfortunately, his version of Easy Dev with that modified capacity is no longer available. It's not available. And I'm trying to look here to find what he said. So I've got my... Why isn't my stream working anymore? Hopefully I didn't lose network. That would be awful. That would not be good. So let's check this out. Let me go here. I'm trying to find the name of the mod that he said you need. Lumberjack. So you need to get the Lumberjack mod that will work instead. And that you can apparently go into and you can change the capacities of Lumberjack for what you lift. So that's my 2 cents. I wish that Jay Weezy would have been able to work with the modder, and the modder was able to work with Jay Weezy and get that out, but they did not. So that was a long-winded story that maybe you don't care about, but I just thought I'd make a mention of it. Long story short, spawn your locomotives and then pick them up with Lumberjack, and you can get them on the track. All right. What do I do with this trailer? Should probably just get rid of it. Here's another. This is a fun mod to keep in mind if you are on PC and you've got Easy Dev. The delete objects mod. This is one of the fastest ways to delete things. You just run around your map. You keybind it to whatever. I've got it bound to my center mouse button. I just walk up to something, I click, and it goes away. And this works for trees. So if you go to any tree, anywhere, you can walk up and delete trees instantly, which is very, very nice. All right. Let's check the chat. How we doing? How do I use the save game you have on this map? This is coming from Sean Blanton. I tried and couldn't get it to show up. Really, really good question. So the best way I can describe this is in your documents game folder, Farm Sim 22. You've got save games. You'll see them in there. It'll be save game 1, save game 2, save game 3. You open up that save game folder. Again, that's in your documents library on your computer. And you would copy all the contents out of the save game file I provided, and you would overwrite, or you would just delete what's in those save games on your computer. So all those XML files and whatnot with what I have on the save game. Now, here's the caveat. You've got to have the mods. There is no way I am able to provide all the mods with that save game. It would be a massive, it'd be gigabytes of data. So you've got to go and get the mods. I try to provide a list of what you need, but you at least get the terrain data and whatnot. I've come back to the house. Why have I come back to the house? Because I need to grab another truck because I want to dump corn into it. I want to get the corn dryer running. I have not tested the corn dryer at all yet this year, and I'm a little concerned because I never have luck when I have to use these right here. Fortunately, this is base game, convey all 1690, so it does work fairly well. But I've got to dump into this. I've got to run it up to the top of this GSI bin. Then the GSI bin feeds down. It goes into the top of the dryer. The dryer dries, and then it feeds it back over to this larger bin, and then we can pull from there. But I never have really good luck with those conveyors. I do not. So I've got one. I got the peat out in the field it's getting soybeans right now. I'm going to take the Volvo with the Demco on it, and we'll head that out to the field. Whoa, I didn't want to do that. That was my train. Let me go back over to my truck. Where's my truck? There it is. And we'll dump corn in this, and we'll get this back. We'll get it to start drying. Hey, you're welcome, Sean. I appreciate it. Again, it's not easy. I get it. There's a lot of modders. In fact, Jay Weezy has a save game available for a map. He just put his own train on, which I think it's awesome. So the benefit of that is you can take the benefit of a save game over like a full mod package is it's very small file size. So I was able to add the train in Hubbard and upload that save game, and it's super small. As long as you have Jay Weezy's pack, you load that game, you download Hubbard, and it works. But you do definitely have to copy over all those files into your computer save game folder. No, Huber, good evening and welcome. Oh, deer are coming out. Look out. It's 12:43. Why are the deer coming out running across the road? I have no clue. I just noticed I need to do some maintenance on this truck. It's way down on power. I mean, I guess I'm also trying to go way too fast on the dirt roads. right, so again, the Pete is up front, at the Volvo in the back. We're going to put corn in the Volvo and the Demco, and we'll continue putting wheat up front in that Wilson trailer. I will say I did have to mod these trailers. So again, I'm solo farming this, and because I'm solo farming it, I have had to modify things ever so slightly. Sorry, I'm going into some of my settings here. I want to see what the heck is going on. I always like to monitor the stream, make sure things are going okay. For some reason, I don't know if the internet in Indiana is being problematic or what. Quality for current video, 480p? Is this coming out at you guys at 480p? That shouldn't be right. What is happening? We don't want that. Comment in the stream if you don't mind. I'd love to know. What are you guys seeing? Don't want no stinking 480p. It should be 1440. You know what we'll do to old YouTube? We'll tell YouTube to go away for just a moment. And we'll come back in. We'll check our settings. Nope, that seems to be right. Ha! I don't know. I don't know. Oh, of course, I've got to check an ad out first. Okay, you're all seeing 1440p, so that's good. Must be on my end, something weird. I don't want to put super low quality going out. That's terrible. I'm not going back to like mid-2000s for streaming quality. Very good. Y'all should be seeing 1440, 60p coming at you. All right, let's, I think I'm going to get a worker going on corn. So in the 9760 STS, let's hop in. Let's get a worker going. This is a fairly skinny head. This doesn't have the horsepower of the 9870, so it's only an 8-row head here. And I should probably change my POV. There we go. Thank you, everybody, for checking the quality. Again, I just want to make sure, you know, you're doing this yourself. I want to make sure it's going out properly. And I've got an iPad in front of me that I kind of can watch everything on, but it's, for whatever reason, stuck in 480p mode. And that's really, really annoying. But maybe it's because it's on a small iPad. Alrighty. Let's get our worker going. Good luck with the worker. Something to notice with workers, you notice the difference in the textures right there? Can you see that? So this was me earlier today, and it's using the flattening of the stalks. When a worker is hired, you don't get that. That's kind of frustrating, but I mean, I guess that's okay. Maybe something for FS25. Are you all excited for 25? We're counting the days down. November will be here. I've heard some mixed reviews. Some people think it's just a glorified, you know, slightly improved version of 22. I really like the idea of the weather. That looks neat. I like the idea of the ground deforming when you're rolling in a field. That looked really, really cool. The fog is neat. I think we'll just have to see. Straight 8 Ham 21. I was about to say SRT, thinking maybe you were a Mopar guy. Yes, so I've got this set up to run max quality at 1440. So This is a 165 hertz refresh monitor, so I, try to run this again full quality or as high a quality as possible at about 165 frames per second. Right now, because I'm sending video over to my Mac, I'm probably not getting 160. I'm probably down in like the 80 range right now. Would be my guess. But I really like the game in 1440. I don't know if 4K would be, if I would get any benefit of 4K or not. Oh no, that's no good. So it completely crashed, huh? You lost it? That's not fun. So I'll tell you a little trick that I do with my save, basically my entire farm sim folder. I make backups of the entire thing. So I put them on an external drive. I go in and I copy the entire farm sim folder, mods and everything. And dump it over to an external drive just as a, like I called this one October Hubbard. And I'll do that frequently, especially if I'm doing a lot of modifications in the game or map editor. Just nice that if anything does happen, that I can, at the minimum, pull that back over and not lose too much. You're getting 50 on Hubbard? Yeah, Hubbard is a very demanding map. Let's see what I'm getting right now. Again, put your money where your mouth is. What do I need to do here? Let's get some airs there too. Oh yeah, I know what that is. Show true. All right, so here we are. Now, I talked about this last time. I don't understand this. Again, I'm not a computer tech person. So I'm running the AMD frame generation. So I don't know what these two numbers are. I think the left number is what the native frames per second is. So I'm seeing 70, 71. And then I believe the number on the right is output frames per second, or what the graphics card is actually outputting to the screen. Somebody please correct me if I'm right or wrong. I have no clue. Yeah, so I am doing 20 miles per hour. So I have to give up a few things. So if I didn't run, so I can turn this off, so we can run at proper speed here, if we want to. This is 6 miles an hour. I can do that. I don't know how long you'd all stick around and chat. It would take a long time to harvest this field, but maybe I try it a little bit. I don't know. I'm using the real speed limit mod that's available on the in-game mod hub. So if I bring it down to the actual 6 miles per hour, it's a little slower. It's a lot slower. It's a lot slower. Yeah, no, I like you calling me out on that. I'm not running like DJ Goham 40 miles per hour. I think he mods all of his combines to run 40 or 45. Like he does some massive speed harvesting. So there's, 11, 10. Todd Thompson, good evening. How are you? Welcome to the chat. Hope everybody's doing well. It's a Wednesday. I don't usually... Well, I'm still learning this streaming thing. I haven't quite got a schedule down. I think a lot of people just kind of stream when they feel like it. Or do they have actual schedules? I don't know. I feel like some do and some don't. Matthew, question, what do I hit on my keyboard to pull up those airs? That is the console. So that is the console. If you go into, so you have to turn that on. And to do that, you've got to go first into the game XML. There are instructions out there on YouTube. There's a ton of people who will show you how to do it. You've got to go into the game XML. You've got to change the console from false to true. There's a prompt in there. Again, check it out on YouTube or any of the forums. They can show you how to do it. You modify some slight code and make it so the console can be turned on. And then I have it mapped so that the tilde key right under the exclamation button turns this on. And this is showing you the game, everything that's happening in the game. So we can take a look here. Error, can't load resource, documents, my games, farming sim 22, fs22 cat 938m store.eds. So that it's having trouble loading the cat 938m picture in the store. For whatever reason, it's not there. And then you can see the game saved successfully, and then you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 deer spawn. And then I use the vehicle control add-on to snap directions. And then you can see console command. I showed FPS true. Then another deer came out. And then I showed FPS false. It's a really great feature to have. You can just type those in there. And there's lists out online that you can go and pull to show you. Whoops, I didn't turn my vehicle control add-on back on. Back up. So this is the vehicle control add-on. It's basically like got auto steer. Turn that on, and now it's going to follow a nice 90-degree angle right up the field, following the rows. MRCS, is that what you're saying? Those metrics on the frames per second? Again, I don't know what they are. I know when I had frame generation off, it was just showing one number. And when I turned frame generation on, which in the AMD booklet it said that was recommended, I got those two numbers. Now, see that? See what I was talking about earlier? Check out that head as that head is flexing. You can see this is a very, very expensive draper belt from Deere. And it is flexing as I'm going over these hills. This Hubbard, Nebraska map is so hilly. When I had that, it's supposed to be a flexible head. It was the honeybee head. But it was way too rigid. See if I come up here on this. See how this this land is so. See how that head just kind of wraps itself around. So helpful, absolutely required for this map. Now there is a section further northwest that is very flat. You wouldn't need this header, but up here in the hills in Hubbard, you absolutely need this header. And my Radeon tools, yeah, I'm sure it is. What the heck? How do I get off by one? Oh, same thing again. Yeah, Brett, so true. The honeybee looks awesome. I had, I had the dual prairie system on it. It didn't cut at all on this map. It was just, it was awful. It did not work at all. So this flexible header is about the only way to do it. So you can see the yield monitor down in the lower left-hand corner. As we get up on this higher area, yields are going down. I mean, really quite poor, actually, down around probably the 60% range. We'll make this turn here. We'll come back. And I have not purchased the custom soil mapping yet. It's very expensive, and I've only got, so I've got $1.2 million, but again, I have $80,000 per month in loans that I have to pay. So I can't just buy things willy-nilly. But as we get down here, and we get closer to this creek, I think this is kind of it wouldn't be a creek, but it would definitely have more moisture. We can see the yields significantly improve. So we're now up into the 100, 110 range. And a mod that I wish I still had, and I may actually go back in and get it again, was a Thundar mod that showed you your current instinct yield on what you were bringing in through the header and into the chopper. It was really kind of a cool mod. Question, do you like exterior or interior views? I go back and forth. There are times... What did I do? Oh, I turned off I hit the wrong button. There are times where I really want to try and just stay in interior. I think it's a little more realistic. But then I always find myself jumping back out because I don't have the depth of field. I don't have the depth perception on the game when I'm playing in first person. Now, what I think we'll do is make one up and back And then I want to go check out the helper. I want to see where his hopper is at. Because I do want to get corn back to the bin site, get that dryer turned on, make sure everything's working properly there. We just opened these fields. This is the start of harvest, year 1 in Hubbard. And this soybean field is a 200-acre field. The corn field that I got the other machine on is 100 acres. And I do have modified hoppers on these combines. I have to. I kind of did the math on it. If I didn't, I would make like 1 or 2 passes and the thing would be full. And since I'm doing it alone, I have to stop, get out, go get the cart, move the cart over, fill the cart, drive the cart over to the truck. The trucks would only hold like half a cart full maybe. So I have modified the XMs on these hoppers. Alright, let the combine rest a little bit. We'll pull over here. I mean, we're making, I think, good progress. All right in here. Save the hydraulics. Shut that off. Let's go find this worker. Where's he at? Let's hop into the map. Let's see where he's at. We'll let the game save. And I'm getting a text from Mrs. with the Stovers, who's out having a little bit of dinner and with her colleagues at work. Okay, this guy's still going, so we can take a look here. Yeah, and he's got about 60% in his hopper, so let's let him run down here. I'm just going to let it go. So this is 6 miles per hour with a very tiny head. And you can see how long this would take. Might have Mrs. with the Stovers in there helping us right now, actually. Very cool. 112 horsepower. Oh, you got a 4040? Nice. Very, very nice. Gotta love a 40 series. Was it you that mentioned this last stream that no farm is complete without a John Deere 40 series? I believe that was the... Were those, I'm trying to remember the nomenclature for them. The Soundguard series of tractors, the Soundguard cabs. Iconic. You see one and it is legendary gear. And very, very reliable. That 112 horsepower is an honest-to-goodness 112 horsepower, and it probably does work like it has more horsepower. We are at a crawl. See, this is why I end up using the real speed limit mod. I just can't do 6 miles an hour with an 8-row head. Yes, there is a 40 series update out on the Mod Hub. Really nice that that's out there. No cab. Very, very, very cool. All right, let's go ahead. Since we're right here, there's no need to go into the... Now, so, okay. I will say this. If real farming, which I'm not, will openly say I'm a wannabe farmer. I want to be a farmer. I do enjoy it. But if I were doing this for real, I would likely dump to the cart and then from the cart to the truck, because the cart would have, all of the telemetry, and it would capture all the data from the field. So we would know how much we pulled off the field, what was in the cart, the weight, et cetera, and then we would dump that from the cart into the truck. We're going to dump into the truck. We are just going to dump into the truck. And then I think we might get this guy going again. And then, what am I doing? I'm driving in circles. We'll take the Volvo with this Demco back to the house. And we'll get the dryer going. No, I think I've got that one back at the house. Spectacular. From Black Sheep Modding. Very, very good. It's PC only, though. But I agree, it is extremely realistic. I've got a 4440 back at the house with the power shift trans in it. Let me get this going again. And I probably should move this cart because everybody knows that the helper would run into this. Let's put that right there, and then I might move this Superliner. And this Superliner, this is Crownzilla's Superliner. It's got an 8V92 in it, Detroit, 2-stroke, single turbo, supercharged. Detroit's are so cool. And yes, turbocharged and supercharged. Turbocharger. Some Detroits didn't have turbos on them. They all have superchargers because a 2-stroke diesel requires the supercharger to function. Or requires the supercharger to actually run. So you're actually cramming with a turbo, cramming more air right through that supercharger. The 2-stroke, you just get this amazing. I mean, when you hear a Detroit, you know it's a Detroit 2-stroke. Put that over there. Let's grab the Volvo. I'm not gonna hire anybody to. No, should we? No, I'm gonna harvest those oats. Let's jump in the Volvo. Life, yes, I would probably that hill, that would not work, we get stuck. And, maybe things like that will really improve 25 with that ground deformation system. All right, so we're headed back to the bin site, back on the farm, and we're going to get the dryer fired up. You know, if you don't mind, I might stop here. I want to check something real quick. So I've got these beef cattle, and I've been a little concerned about their food consumption. And I bought a couple of round bales of silage. Water is good, so you can see I got a little bit of silage in there. Their health is still at 0. I don't understand this. My dairy cattle are fine. Their health is great. They're fed properly. No issues. These, for whatever reason, cannot get their health up. So I don't know what it is. They've got plenty of food. Just don't die on me, okay? Hang in there, cows. Hang in there. Yeah, how are you? Hang in there, okay? Could be the mod. I don't know. I like some of the, like, no-fence pasture mods. They're open pastures, and then you put your own fence around them. I always think those are nice. All right, here we go. I need to get down here at some point after harvest. Bring a little bit of fill dirt in on that gully. Ditch right there. I'm gonna turn a trailer over this year. I know I am. That turn is just so sharp. Sounds like you're all green at your farm there, no? Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. We're a little combination of red and green. Okay. This is we gotta think this through here, chat. We gotta think this through a little bit. So we gotta get this auger over here moved over in position to go into this right there, that GSI bin. That feeds into the dryer. The dryer then feeds over there. Now, what I am concerned about, I'm a little concerned that the capacities are not going to be very big. I don't know if I'm going to have enough room in here. So I might have to then take the dried corn over here and bring it back over into these Meridian, the bin site here, into the pit. I don't know. My poor YouTube on my iPad that I'm viewing is like beach balled of death once again. So annoying. Here we go. Back in. Just like to watch that in case anything pops up. So here we go. Let's hop into this big old thing. Let's see if I can get this into position. I never can drive these well at all. If I don't want to hit these electric lines, I definitely don't need to call the power company. So let's get that just moved a little bit. Okay, so no, you got some red equipment as well. Or I guess an Agri-King 970. That might be an old International white machine. What is that doing? Okay, there we go. We got to drive this over here. It is taking every bit of just everything in me not to jump out and just turn on super strength. Every fiber in my being to not just pull super strength out. Let's move this over. Can this go all the way? Yes, I think it can go 180. So we're going to need this to be over here. Oh, and you know what? Oh, no. It's not a drive over. I just realized that. See, this is why, this is why we practice. So let me see if I can get this positioned up here. Can I make that any taller? No, that is as tall as that goes. But I think that is there. Yes, okay. So that is good. Just dropped my mouse. Stand by. There we go. All right, so I think we've got that right there, which is good. I want to say Control-I, so I want to unload here. Now I need to... So that is unloading. I now need to bring the truck over. And it's in the back hopper. Okay, so I might have to do that. Let me jump out and get back in here. And I think, okay, if I move this out of the way ever so slightly, and then I get back in the truck, about right there. Is this going to work? Yes, it might. That's the front bin. Okay, so now I gotta get back out. Pull forward ever so slowly. I should get a notification to start unloading. Oh, there it was. I saw it. Wow, why is it so finicky? There it is. So we're going to start unloading that corn. Is this going up? I don't know. Corn dryer. Storage is empty, so it's not going up, but it's going into here? Oh. Seems to be going up now. Oh, is it full? Oh no. Is that all it holds? Well, that's not good. That's not good at all. I don't like that, chat. Let me see here. Let me go in and let's check our productions out. We'll let it save here for a moment. Yeah, Brett, I need a drive over. I really do. But I'm worried right now that my corn dryer is only a 2,500 liter dryer. So let's check out our productions. Let's come in here and see this. Productions, corn silage. Corn dryer right here. No. Corn dryer says it's got 70 bushels in it. Plenty of room. What in the heck am I doing wrong? Did the truck stop dumping? I don't know what I'm doing wrong. There we go. All right, so we are dumping into the dryer now. No says your dream one day would be able to go to the Welker farm in Montana. They are a spectacular group of individuals out there. I love their channels. So a lot of really, really good YouTubers out there. You know, make a mention in the chat if you want to of who you watch. I love Welker. I certainly love Millennial Farmer. I really, really like Kip Siegler Farms. Dairy Farmer. Very, very funny. Very, very good channel. And then, well, I said Welker. Who else do I watch a lot of? Our friends Doug and Chet and Duggo. Love that channel as well. And it's always just, it's nice to see. I've followed a lot of them throughout the years. And to see them succeed the way that they have is awesome. Oh, wow. Okay, my corn dryer is full now. So we better turn that on. And I better think of some other ways to store my corn because I got a lot of corn, and that dryer is not going to cut it. So what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Hey Mojo, welcome. Good to see you. Thanks for coming back to the stream. I'm streaming again. It's October. It's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, October 1st. This will be Monday, October 1st in Nebraska. And right now we've got a bit of a conundrum. So we've opened up a couple of fields. And we're cutting soybeans right now and corn. I've got wet corn going into the dryer. My Brock dryer, though, only holds... We're at capacity. That one truckload. Because I might have modified the XML a little on it. But that one truckload, it filled the dryer up. I don't want to have to dump over here and then pull out of this and bring it back over here to dry. So do I just dry what corn I can, or do I try and find a solution? Like, I could put some more bins out over here, but then I'd have to pull from these bins over to the dryer. I might have to think about that. Brett says, hey, I love Millennial Farmer. I love, you live not far from him, kind of between him and Chet from Larson. Yeah, Larsons are awesome. Awesome, awesome family. Again, I think what's really impressive is these, these farmers and these families. They're very successful farmers. They have very successful operations. And then they've got these amazing YouTube channels as well. They provide so much joy and entertainment for people. And I absolutely love that. I'll put some of their videos on and, just do some work in the evening. And it's just nice to hear the voice or the video playing in the background. Back to the field, 31 and 30. So Mojo, we opened up some fields. We're into harvest year one. The first field I opened up is 200 acres soybean field. Got the 9870 STS cutting that one, and I got the smaller machine with an 8-row head on it, cutting corn right across the road. Heading back there. We've got 2 trucks. I've got a cart. I've got a 9R out there with a big cart in the back, but I haven't had to use it yet because it's, we've just been able to pull the combines off, dump right into the truck. Hey, good night, No. Thanks for coming. Really, really appreciate you. We'll see you next time. No's in France. It's 2:29 there. Or 2.5 hours later? Is he saying it's 2:30 a.m.? Or it's, I don't even know what time it is here in the States. 8, 9, 30, 10. Is it 11 p.m. there in France right now? I don't know. I hear the farm dog barking upstairs. That must mean the Mrs. Witherstovers is back from her dinner with colleagues. That's okay. We're going to keep streaming. I was looking down, I was reading chat, and I ran into my damn combine. Look out. That's an insurance. An insurance call right there. All right, so this guy, or gal, whomever's in there, this gal, helper, who's in this? I don't know if this is helper B or what. Helper, who knows? We were gone that whole time, and that's all they've cut. Now, this is a huge, huge field, though. Let's jump into flight mode real fast, and I'll show what I'm talking about. So let's go into flight mode. Let's turn HUD off. Check out the size of these fields. This is a 100-acre cornfield right here. And this over here that we've been cutting is a 200-acre bean field. And this is just my little small portion of the map. You can see the farmyard back there, the house. But you can look all the way across the map, and there's just thousands of more acres left to be harvested or cut or owned. It's amazing. That's a 3 combine cornfield. I know. I don't have the money for 3 combines. I got one working on it right now. It's all I've got going. 100 acres. Have I bitten off more than I can chew? I don't know. That is why I'm using the real speed limit, and I've modified the hoppers. And check out, again, that head. This head, without this head, so this is that, I don't know, I'm going to just kind of give up on that on my small little iPad down here that is just trying to monitor the stream. And it is not doing well at all. It keeps giving me the circle of death. Let me try that again. There we go. Back in there. There we go. We're back. So I gotta be able to see if you're chatting. But no, it's still circling. Oh my goodness. Let me go into this other one. I got another iPad here. We're gonna view it off this other iPad. Because I want to make sure that I don't miss anything if you have questions. Pop this in here. There we go. Of course, I've got to, I got to watch an ad. A lot of ads. Although, so I will say this. Ads are very, very helpful. I get them. I used to be, I'd hate them. But then I started doing YouTube, and it's really nice. I can only imagine what some of these massive channels are able to earn. When you're a very small channel like me, you don't earn a ton at all. That's okay, but that's why I understand now the importance of ads for some people. So I find myself not pushing skip. But then I will say there are times I get very, very frustrated, even on my own videos. I'm like, skip, 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 skip. But like I was saying, this flexible head, so this is a 45-foot flex head, draper belt, with a Crary system on the front. It would be impossible to cut this field without this. And I had that honeybee header on here earlier, and it was just not working at all. Would not cut the field. So we'll pull in. I'm using the vehicle control add-on, which is just like GPS. And I am using the real vehicle speed mod that's available in the in-game mod hub. And I'm doing that because if I didn't do that, it would... I don't even know how long it would take me to harvest all this things. So sound off for everyone in the chat. I mentioned it's Labor Day weekend in the United States this weekend. What's everybody doing? You got any plans? This is kind of the last long weekend of the summer. It takes us into fall. It is hot, hot, hot in the Midwest right now. We're talking heat advisories across Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio. We were in the mid-90s for the ambient temperature the past couple of days, but then the humidity's been really, really high. So the heat index has been well over 100 degrees. Yeah, Mojo, the VCA mod is really, really nice. You can do so much with it. I'm really just using it for the GPS functionality of it, so the width of the header, to just try and keep all the rows straight. But you can do everything from, changing your direction, your speed, your cruise control, you name it. Vehicle control add-on mod is really, really good. Big family picnic for you? Nice, very nice. I hope the weather holds out for you. I think we're going to get a bit of a cool down. Straight ham, yeah, it's hot in Arkansas. I bet. It's just been brutal. And it's brutal, and it's also very inconsistent. Before this current heat wave came through, we had some really nice temperatures. Cool, especially in the evenings. Very, very reasonable. Enjoyable to go out on the back patio. Maybe have a little sipper. But right now, nobody wants to go outside. Even in the evening, I take the dog out. The dog is like, this is humid. I'll be back in. This header is so wide, I can't really even see the header from side to side. You almost have to go in and set your field of view a little wider. There's an 80-degree field of view. That still didn't even do it. Let's do 100. That kind of did it. Let's see a little better from in the cab now, although from the first-person point of view, I have no body, I have no legs, I have no torso. But at least you can kind of see the header from left to right. I'm going to try to stay in the cab here for a little bit. See if I can do a little more realistic in the cab, not the third-person view. So there's the vehicle control add-on mod. You can see getting me lined up with the center line. We drop the head. Then I use Control W, and that basically turns the GPS back on. Yeah, I don't know. I go back and forth, Mojo, on the field of view. I never know. Do I want it to be tight? Do I want it to be wide? I almost feel like I'm enjoying this slightly wider view right now. But with the John Deere, with these older, like 80 and 70 series combines, the headroom, or the way the mod was made, the camera's very high. You get into some of the newer, like S790s, the X9, the S7, the brand new S7 that was released. Or you get into some other makes from, maybe Fendt or, gosh, even Gleaner and Case. You have a much... I feel like the front glass, you have a better view. Mojo, is this going to be a weekly stream? I don't know. I think I might. I think I might do kind of weekly. I'm enjoying it. And I've got a harvest. So this does a couple of things. It keeps me honest. So I can't just go in and easy dev the field. I've actually got to be honest And it's fun. As long as you all enjoy it, though. I think that's one of the most important things. And I've said this in the past where I think all content creation is important to make sure, you know, we're having fun, we're enjoying it, that it doesn't feel forced. Alt-A and Alt-D auto turns at the end of a row. Okay, let me try it. So let's go up here. Let's get to the end of this row. I'm going to do Alt-A. I'm assuming Alt-A does left, maybe? Yeah, that would make sense. A would be left, D would be right. Let's give this a try. Kind of going up this hill, I feel like my horsepower is down. Okay, A is left. I got you. Here we go. I'm gonna come to third person view for this. So I feel like I'm gonna mess this up. So I've got enough on my end rows, I think, to make this happen. Let me raise the head. That was not the right button. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I like that. Okay. So Alt-A and Alt-D is going to let me turn. See, I messed that up right there. Yeah. So I got to go further out. Let's bring the head up. So the head comes up. And Alt-D goes the turn. Nice and slow. Oh, that is marvelous. Spectacular. Very, very nice. Straight 8 ham, thank you for that. Very, very helpful. Mojo, I appreciate that. I'd love to grow the audience. You know, it's tough. YouTube is so much fun. It's not a career for me. It's not something, you know. Some of these YouTube channels, I mean, they're so successful. They've done so well. Millions, gosh, hundreds of thousands. And then I think Squad is like well over 1 million. So successful. I think they could potentially, they might have a career out of it. I think Spencer, the folks that are on that channel, I think he's got his own farm now. He's actually doing real farming. So awesome to see. So, you know, this is enjoyment. This is entertainment. It is, honestly, it's like therapy for me. It's so relaxing to just play this game on an evening after a long day's work. But again, I do have work during the day. So, but I think I would like to grow the channel. I'd like to get some more folks in enjoying this game. And I think with 25 coming out soon, we might get some more folks enjoy. Wow, I think I'm sliding right there. Enjoying the game. Because with every new game that comes out, you know, I think you kind of grow a little bit of your audience. And I think there's a lot of fairly interesting games coming out soon. I talk about Farm Sim, which is like the most easy laid-back game there is, but I'm kind of excited for a couple of first-person shooters that might be coming out soon. The new Stalker 2 looks really, really interesting. I love the whole history of Chernobyl. I might have to check that out. I think it comes out fairly soon. Mojo, I appreciate that, watching my videos multiple times. I have no clue if that helps the YouTube algorithm or not. I don't know. I do not know. And you can see I've got almost 2,000 bushels in the tank here, so I've clearly modified the XML on this. But we haven't even gotten to the long rows on this field. Let's go do one of those right now. I'm going to show you, again, just to emphasize so let's turn that off and raise the header. Let's take it up. Let's go up the hill. Let's go down one of the long rows. And let's do it without the vehicle real speed mod on. And I'll show you how long it would take to harvest this field. I am going to need, I realize I'm going to need fuel at some point. Definitely going to need the Meridian fuel trailer. Mojo, I really appreciate that. I want people to just enjoy them. Again, I think that's all I can ask for, is just as long as you enjoy the videos. And that goes for every YouTuber out there. There's some really, really spectacular ones that are making content for Farm Sim and others, American farming. I like the creativity that some of these content creators come up with, and the storylines, and just the general dedication to the game. It's really, really, really impressive. You know, I think we've got some of the kind of the class triple A content creators for Farm Sim. I always think of DJ Goham. I think of Mr. CVP. You know, the squad, Farm Sim guy. They're doing so well. They put out such great content. All right, we're gonna go down the long part here. So let me turn this back on, and I'm gonna turn off. So I just turned off the real speed line. So I'm gonna show you how long it would take to actually properly, at 6 miles per hour, get these beans. And these beans look really terrible too. They look like a terrible harvest. And you can see in my yield in the lower left-hand part of the screen, they really are. It's an awful, awful harvest. So I'm hoping that year 2 comes around, and with a little bit of fertilizer, some proper tillage, proper planting, proper weed control, proper rain, that we can have far better yield in the coming years. Because remember, the goal on this map is as realistic a farming as possible. Now, yes, I admit I've modded the XMLs, I've modded the speed of the combines. I have to do that because I'm solo farming this. But I am trying very, very, very hard to realistically farm with the monetary, what I'm making on milk, on animals, on produce, on apples, on if it's just cash crops, actual crops that we're bringing in. Trying very, very hard to stick to the financial system. And I have a very large loan. I have a $13 million loan. It's a 20-year loan at 3.5% interest. It is an annuity type loan, so it comes out every month. I made my first payment on that this morning. It was along with my house It was close to $80,000. Very, very expensive. So I'm hoping we've got a little bit of data for September. We'll have really good data, I think, for October in regards to inputs and outputs, how much I have to put into the farm, and how much we're actually able to make off the farm, and see if this is even sustainable, or will this farm go completely bankrupt. So if you're just joining, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. You're with the Stovers on the Stover Farm in Hubbard, Nebraska. The 16X PC map by Texar Gaming came out very recently. Probably it, along with Stitzer, Wisconsin by MRG Mapping, that came out as well. Probably two of the coolest maps we've seen, and I think are really going to close out Farm Sim 22 very nicely. This will certainly be my last full farm in Farm Sim 22. I don't think I'm going to start anything in Stitzer. I might. I don't know. But I think that Hubbard is going to take so much of my time that 25 is going to come out. Now, I'm a little worried, and I'd love to hear your comments on it and get your ideas. I remember when 22 came out, it wasn't that great. In fact, if I remember the sentiment, people said it sucked, and they all wanted to go back to 19. I hope that doesn't happen. But I do think that 22 is going to stay a very viable game for quite some time. I still think 19 is a viable game. I see a lot of people still playing it, still streaming it. I think some of the mods that came out for 19, people still absolutely love. So you can see we're not even halfway down this road. Look at that. Look at the hills on this map. It's so beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I probably in real life would have already had to have dumped to the cart like twice by now. Oh, straight ham 21. Okay, I didn't know that. So the animal health would never go up. That does drive me crazy, and I'm fighting that a little bit right now with my animals that I have, my beef cattle. I don't know if they're going to go up. I don't know if they're going to start dying. I hope they don't. Dairy cattle is fine. I think it might just be the mod that I'm using for my beef cattle. So I might have to rethink some things there. But I get that. Like if a mod or a map's not working right, it's hard to stick with it. Yeah, when is the full release of Stitzer? I know he was still in beta, so it was just testing, which I think, hey, hands off to him for putting it out there in beta and allowing people to download it and test it. That takes some guts, because you know how people can be on something that you put out for testing. They can be brutally honest, which sometimes is good. We are still not done with this row. At 6 miles per hour, 7 miles per hour on the 9870 with a 45-foot draper on the front, flexible draper head on this 200-acre bean field. And it's now, 3 o'clock in the afternoon on day one, and I'm at 2x speed. I had to bump the speed down from 6x to 2x because it's, There's so much going on. And don't worry, I'm not going to like stream straight for hours upon hours. We'll get to a point where we'll maybe dump the truck, take some of this back to the farm. We probably should take care of the animals, take a look at the animals. We're getting into the afternoon. Want to make sure that they have proper water and feed for the evening. We're playing 7-day months. And I like 7-day months because it's kind of like a proper week. So Monday through Friday, Saturday and Sunday. So we're October 1st. This will be Monday, year one. At 2x speed. And look, worker A or worker I has completed their task. Which means they probably ran into something. I saw that too. MRG said he was going to convert to 25, and I think Texar is going to do the same with this map, convert to 25. I don't know what all is involved to get things over to 25. I don't know if it's easier or more difficult than the 19 to 22 conversion. I'm thinking and have been reading and hearing that it's easier. So we might see some more mods out a little quicker for 25 than we did for 22. And I also saw, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like I saw something where Giants Editor 10 is going to be used for some racing game that's coming out soon. I thought I read that somewhere. That could be really interesting. You need to update your potato. Your computer or your potato? Brett, I just saw your comment up there. You made a mention about amazing that MN Millennial Farmer makes more money on YouTube than actually farming. I think that's awesome. Like, again, absolutely more power to him. But he probably does. I have noticed, you know, on a lot of his videos, he gets a lot of newer equipment coming in, so he's doing very well. I think that's great. That's wonderful. You know, social media and the marketing around social media, there's a lot of money out there, I think. Especially if you have a really, really heavy following. Or you have some video that just goes viral, or a channel that goes viral. I certainly don't have the Hollywood looks to go viral. I have the face for radio. That's why I turned off the video monitor. Turn it back on every now and then, looking at there is a real person chatting. See a potato, to each their own. Agreed. What are you going to build? Are you going to upgrade? Are you going to buy? Are you going to build? I built this not even long, probably a little over a month ago, and I'm just really, really happy with it. I was a little hesitant about building. I'm laughing because I'm just now getting to the end of this damn row. Look at that! That took forever. 200 acres. But yeah, I built this machine. I'm really, really happy with it. I was hesitant early on because I'm moving all to the team. I'll see if it does it. Or it might run into these trees. Yeah, hold on. Mississippi Fire, good evening. Howdy, how are you? We're out here harvesting this 200-acre bean field, and I just turned off all the cheats. And I don't know how long that took. Again, I feel like I was talking for a pretty decent time. That took forever at 6 miles an hour. The beans are back there. They're looking good. So let's now turn the cheats back on. So there's the real speed limit enabled once again. We're going to go maximum power, speed, and power. Maybe run her about 15 miles an hour here. And I think what we'll do on this, so we're going to make this run right here. We're going to run all the way down. We are running south right now. So again, this farm is in the upper northeast corner. I'll turn the map on so you can see. We are up there. You can see the yield map too. It's got little specks of green, but most of it is orange and red, which is bad. I almost feel like the valleys, yeah, so it's kind of realistic. The valleys have a little higher yield. They retain a little more moisture than the peaks do. A little more erosion up on the peaks. So I can see that. That's good. And then you can see right down by to my right, looking east, or excuse me, west. Around that tree line, heavy moisture down there. There's a creek down there, so you would be significantly higher yields. So that's really cool to see. But again, we're in the upper northwest corner. I think I said northeast corner. Northwest corner. And I like to, again, put into perspective the size of this map. So it's a 16x map. The portion that you see there on the yield monitor in the lower left-hand corner, I am farming field number 31. Field number 31 is 200 acres. Field number 30 is 100 acres. My entire operation is fields 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 33, 37, 38, 39, 41. And I think I counted 1,300 acres in that small section. So, I mean, this map must be 10,000 acres? 15,000 variable acres? I don't know. So we're going to get done with this row. We've got 3,000 comical bushels in the tank. Again, I updated the X amount. We're going to dump this into the truck. We're going to take it back, get this into the tank, because it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I think we will go back and tend to some of the animals. Mojo, you got a very good point. I don't know how to make it a multiplayer. That's the thing. I don't know if I have the network capability for it. I don't know what it would take. I don't know if it takes all the mods. But yeah, I think there are some people that do have a multiplayer of Hubbard going on right now. And I can definitely see where that is helpful and needed. positive of it all, though, positive, it's going to take a lot of time, but I might actually hit, you know, those financial targets that I've set. So I got some pretty hefty financial burdens right now, some loans that I've got to take care of. So we'll hit the end of this row, we'll turn off this machine, we'll take it over, and we're going to dump into the truck. I should check on worker I that said she completed her task. I don't believe her at all. I do not believe that. I don't believe it. El Paso, would you say your favorite channel is made for train content? What is that? Let us know. I love train content. That's the beauty of Farm Sim. You can be a train enthusiast, you can be a car enthusiast, you can be a farm enthusiast, you can be an animal enthusiast. This game is so well-rounded for anybody. Appreciate that on my save. I have a train on this map. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, you were saying... Okay, I thought you were saying, put a train on this map. I got one. I did. And it's available. You can download it if you want. The save game. Transient service. It's actually a very long time. I derailed. I still haven't cleaned that mess up from the last live stream we did. I derailed that Steam Loco. Very sad. Oh no. Is this even... Alright, do you all know the problem? Can you see the problem? Do you see the problem? I see the problem. I've got a problem. It might go in. I might have to go in sideways here. That's cool, El Paso. You film trains. That's really, really cool. There's such a great following of train enthusiasts on YouTube. I am constantly impressed by the knowledge about trains that folks have on YouTube. It's very, very impressive. And I really like watching some videos, I've seen a few, where some like engineers on some trains go and find they find like older locomotives and they start them up. And I think it's so cool to go in and see, let's see, open covers, see, there we go. I probably don't want to dump over, I'm going to wreck my covers. Let me turn around. Oh, my door is open. What? Okay, there we go. This is a really cool truck, by the way. So it's a Peterbilt 389. I do not remember who the modder is. We were talking about this a little earlier in the stream. So those are the doors that open, and then the hood opens. It's got a Cummins 15X, 15 or X15, that's what it is. My mind went for this a little bit. Got the fan moving there. Got some of the components. Very, very nicely done. Big old turbocharger over here. Got the I think that's just an air-to-air intercooler in the front, probably. I don't know, do trucks have air-to-water intercoolers? Or are they all mostly air-to-air? And then you go inside, and the gauges, they all work. So we come up here. You can see these gauges. So like if I put it in neutral, and I rev it up, and yeah, my display, it's glitching out a little bit right there. But you can see my fuel pressure, my inlet, it's got pressure going in. My suspension's got pressure. My rear axle, my front axles, they all have temperature controls. My volts are working. My coolant works. And then my oil pressure on the motor also works. You can see it increasing there. It's just super cool. And that's what is so neat. Oh, yeah, and the doors work. But, okay, I gotta close my hood. There we go. Like, the amount of time and effort. Oh, my GPS turned back on. The amount of time and effort that folks put into modding something like this. Very, very, very cool. All right, so I'm going to have to pull up a little bit. I'm probably going to have to back into this sideways. El Paso, my day's going really well. I appreciate you asking. Thank you. Worked this morning or today. Worked all day, and misses with the Stovers. I was going to go out with some colleagues for dinner after work, and I thought, it's a good evening to do a stream. So that's where we find ourselves right now. So we're going to put that right there. How's your evening going? And I'm assuming El Paso, Texas, you're 2 hours behind us in Indiana, so you're 7 p.m. out there. I know. With daylight savings time, you're 1 hour behind us, so it's 8 p.m. out there. All right, that worked. Yeah, I definitely agree on the train. So Jay Weezy is the person that makes the trains. So I will say this. He is just got married, by the way. Congratulations to him. On like version 4 or 5 on those train mods. So he's not just releasing the trains and then walking away from them. He is actively improving them all the time, which I think is awesome. Oh, okay. I see. This would be why Worker I quit. They ran into they almost ran into the power lines. Why the heck did they go over that way, though? Did they try to avoid it? I don't know. That's fine. They've got, yeah, we should probably, so if I'm going to be kind of done for the evening in this field, let's go ahead and put this in the Demco. I'm gonna take the peat back, but I think I'll put all this corn in the Demco and then put the cover on it. So in case we get rain tonight, which October forecast was calling for significant amounts of rain. So we'll get this in the fall, though, and then I'll put the cover on it. So like I was mentioning on Jay Weezy, not everything is going to be 100% authentic. I think he's done a really, really good job of being as authentic as possible. But for train enthusiasts, you are definitely going to find things that are off. But again, I will say this to his credit: he is actively listening to the community and making changes based around what can be done in the game. Because let's be honest, there are some things that just cannot be done in the game. Alrighty, let's drop that down to save the hydraulics. And you know, one thing I like to do, because I think this will probably be it for the evening in this field. We're not done with the stream yet. We're going to take the trucks back, but just kind of want to hit the feeder house area, try and get all this corn dust out of here, all this buildup. You know, I'm not going to open the sides. I don't think these actually do open, although some do. Some mods do open up completely. Just get a nice cleanup of that area. Take a look at the head. Let's get all this corn dust out of here a little bit, so it doesn't. Again, if we get any dew or moisture, it doesn't just glob this up completely. And then the bean dust. The bean dust is the worst. And I was actually out in Iowa last year for harvest, and actually my daughter and I are going to go back out there again. We'll be in kind of the southeastern portion of Iowa, and you know, I've always heard farmers talk about dust coming off of corn and beans, and my gosh, it really was. The bean dust just got all over everything. I was coughing and hacking up a lung. All right, just kind of, you know, again, clean that up just a little bit. We don't want to have our equipment sitting out here all evening getting nasty. All right, and I do want to put the top on the Demco. Yeah, I'm from Indiana. You talk about trains, so the farm we go out to in Iowa, there's a pretty main line that runs. It's out beyond their pasture, but it butts right up to their pasture, and it's a switchover area where I think the crews stop and change out, because every time we go to town, we typically see a van, you know, in a train that has stopped, and they're switching out. They sit there though, and it is fairly loud. I have my windows open at night just because the breeze was really nice, but you can definitely hear it. But that's okay. I like the sound of the train. I really do. So we've got 3,300 bushels. Man, that GPS is annoying. I don't know why it does that. We've got 3,300 bushels of soybeans. I'm going to try to not tip the trailer. We'll head back to the bin site. We'll get this dumped in the pit. We'll kind of get an idea of the efficiency of the dryer. We put, what I think, 2,500 liters of corn, wet corn in the dryer about an hour ago. I'm definitely going to have to consider some changes for that dryer because it's not big enough for our operation. Not big enough at all. Love the horn on this truck. So it's a little after 4 o'clock p.m. Here in Nebraska, Monday, October 1st. This is that gully I was talking about. I need to bring some fill dirt in because I am going to tip a truck over. I am fairly certain. I need to fix that. This is just a beautiful, picturesque drive up to the farm. I love these rolling hills that you get in this map. So nice. All right, we'll come into the Meridian site here on the farm. This bin site is available on itch.io. It's open and available to the public. It is PC only. It's in the back hopper, so I need to pull forward just a little bit more. Tip side back, and I should get the... Let's see here. I don't want to fill. I want to unload. Oh, there we go. I was on the truck. Whoops. I keep opening my door. There we go. Okay, let me hop out. Let's see how this is going in. Make sure everything's going in well. Very nice. Nice, clean into the pit. Don't want to spill any. I don't have a broom around here in case I do. Very nice Wilson trailer, stainless steel on the outside. What are we running back here? Can't see. The light is getting, there we go. We've got Continentals on this, some 13R 22.5s on the back. We've got the stainless steel wheels on them as well. A little bit of dirt back there. This is available on itch.io. I think this is actually available on Main Game Mod Hub. It's a Wilson base setter. Very, very nice trailer. And then I just went in and modified the XML ever so slightly to make it hold a ton of product. And then this is a little better look at the P389. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful mod. Sounds great. What does this say? I left this on here. Music will save the world. Yeah, it probably will. Music is an absolutely amazing thing. I've got the IFTA California sticker on there. That's pretty neat. All right, so that is dumped in. Let me turn my flashlight off. Back in. Close my door. Oh, I opened my hood. There we go. Just gonna pull up, and I want to check on the animals. I mentioned earlier in the stream, so if you're just now joining, I broke a rule. I broke one of my rules. And what am I saying? I do this all the time. I always adding stuff to my farm. Big park. Let's just park it. There we go. Let's just put it down. Turn that off. There we go. Okay. I modified the farm. But I did it for a very specific reason, and that is because my current husbandry that is here started to have issues. I could not get any food triggers to pop up. It just stopped completely, and I also couldn't get any bales loaded. So I deleted that husbandry, and I added some others. And I think it's actually a little more realistic this way. So I've got, kind of an unload area right here that we can open up. And this corral where I could bring in animals off a truck if I wanted to and herd them in. This is all dairy here. Our beef cattle are out in the pastures, and I can close that fence. And then I can come in here. I can close this fence, and I can close this fence or this gate, and then you could open that gate, and you'd have a nice pathway through here. I mean, come in here and check them out. They're eating right now. So how are they doing? We've got health is really, really good. 17,000 liters of food. They're producing milk, and they've got plenty of straw. Slurry is at 3,612 liters. There's a very, very nice slurry pit built into this. El Paso, you got to go. Hey, thanks for coming by. We'll see you later. Again, I always appreciate you stopping by the channel. Happy train filming, too, by the way. Stay safe out there. So we've got now 100 head of cattle in here, I think. Yeah. And I really like this husbandry, so we'll close that. The trigger for the straw is here. The trigger for the animals is here. And then the trigger for the TMR is here. And I did throw together a different mixing wagon. This was just way too cool to pass up. This was, I found a Ford 9000. I think this is a 1984. If you can't tell, I love my older equipment. And this thing is just cool. I also happen to love my Detroit diesels. This has a 6V92 Detroit in it. And oh yeah, like I said, when you hear a Detroit, you will know it is a Detroit. That doesn't sound like a Detroit. It sounds more like maybe a Detroit 60 series. Not a two-stroke Detroit, but you get the point. This is really cool. It's a KUHN night mixer. It's only like 15,000 liters, but it's self-propelled in air quotes because it's a semi front. And then this is the another really nice barn that I like. So again, I feel like it just feels a little more realistic. I want to come in here and I want to check and see how we've got our... Okay, that just popped up right there. So their health isn't quite at 100% yet. We've got a little bit of milk. Straw is good. Slurry's good. Manure is going up. Food is good. Total capacity, 0 out of 1792. I don't know what that means. Got 100 animals in here. I don't know what that total capacity means. I don't know. So they look pretty good on all their food. And it's actually really neat with this barn. So we'll come over here, and you can come into the milking parlor. And it has lights. We can turn those lights on. When you come in here, this milking parlor, they actually come in here at different times. I think it's in the morning and the evening. This parlor will fill up with dairy cattle, and they'll begin, they'll hook up to the machines. Very, very, very cool. Very, very nice mod. And this is available on the in-game mod hub. So that barn mojo that I was first at is something that I found on fs22.com. This is called Cow Barn, but I don't know who it's from. I'll have to check and look. I do not remember where I got this. All of this I added, so this is not part of it. I added this as fencing and decorative items. The truck it's one of the big modders. He's got it out there. It might be Whiskey Sierra modding. I can't remember, but it is on itch.io. Very, very cool. This barn is available on the in-game mod hub for all platforms over here. That barn has storage in the... Oh, okay. Interesting, Mike. Thanks for letting me know. So it has storage for For babies. Okay. That must be what it is. Oh, for bales. That's right. Yes, 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 yes. Baby bales. They're up here. That's what that is. So if we go back into the, there's an area up here. We can turn the lights on. Come up here and you can dump bales. And I think they load through this door right here. You can get like a bale conveyor, and they'll come in up here, and you have a 1,792 baby bale capacity. Thanks for reminding me on that. I could not remember what the heck that was about. Yeah, Mojo, you want to send me so I remember. Do you want? Can you send me in the chat or in the I don't know, maybe in one of my videos, or just send me an email. You always are welcome to send me an email withthestovers@gmail.com. Again, that's withthestovers@gmail.com. I try to check it frequently. I'm not always great at that, though. Sometimes I do forget and I have to, remind myself. But tell me, just, again, remind me. It'll be helpful. And I'll find them on, and I'll give you a link to it. I'll show you where it's at. And in here, we've got, these are running. We've got tons and tons of fresh maize silage being made there, which is really good. I'm quite happy with that. And then the chickens, let's see. How are we doing on food for them? I don't like to go to bed or, go to supper without making sure they've got enough food. Those should be good for the evening. And I also do like to come in and shut my I'm so bad at leaving things open in this game, so I want to make sure I shut that, and let me come over and I'll shut this barn as well. We've got all of our, so I got my big corn head in here. This is if I wanted to hook up to the, the 9870, but I'm a little concerned because this isn't a very flexible head if it's going to cut corn on this map. I don't know. And then we've got my seeder and my planter in here that we'll use in the spring. Yeah, I'm a little concerned that corn head might not work very well on this map. And then we can run, so I mentioned there's a built-in slurry pit with this one barn. And this was our silage corn over here. We already cut this field. This was 82 acres. I've already cut, and I actually have already tilled it. So I did, got a couple of the big four-wheel drive beasts out here, and we tilled that a couple days ago. But you come up here, and you can see, and you've got a nice big slurry. You got to be careful. You're coming over here like this. You don't want to get any like methane popping out of this. A lot of farmers are injured with these pits. You got to be cautious. There's a big slurry pit in there. That and grain bin entrapment. It hurts a lot of farmers every year. Every year. That's terrible. I did have to switch over, so I've got the Dash. Trailer. And I did have a metal building built because I wanted to make sure my chemicals were properly stored. I got some Locktrail XC here, and you can see this is a herbicide, a Group 4 herbicide. And then over here, this is the VP 480. This is the Group 9. This is your glyphosate. And you can see that there, active ingredient glyphosate, 480 gallons. I don't know what GL is, but that is nasty stuff. We got to be careful with that. And then this is some mixed herbicide up here from Corteva, but I like to keep these in their own storage area. And then I've got some water soluble fertilizer here as well. I haven't bought a lot of fertilizer yet. Don't really need any till we get into the spring, but I am going to need to head to the dealer and get fertilizer and get all my herbicides ready. And it's going to be time to probably put an order in for seed, too, for next year. I know we're in harvest, but it's probably a good idea to, get an order ready with the seed dealer. I did have to switch over to a New Holland self-propelled sprayer, and the reason I did that was the case that I had, it would not accept from the Dash trailer. It would not accept the, I got the Dash in here. So if you've seen this, this is on the in-game mod hub. You've got water in the front, water in the back, and I got the nasty stuff up there. So I did spray. I had to spray one cornfield with glyphosate, and it killed the weed and got the weeds, took them out. It was great. But this trailer would not feed the mixture of water and chemical to that case self-propelled sprayer. So I did have to sell it and get that New Holland. And then I've got, I think for some of the fields where we're not going to be able to get the trucks into where the combines are, this 8960 is going to pull. I've got this little Kinsey wagon over here, and then I got that big 9R on the big wagon, and it's going to take care of that. Let's put this Freightliner in the barn real fast. Yeah, and Mojo, I do have a Discord. I've got Discord. I don't use it a lot because I can't. And again, I sound like an old guy. Like I don't know how to use it very well. I need to learn how to actually properly use Discord. But I agree. I gladly will swap mods. I like to respect the modders and not, any private mods that they might have. But I guess that is a really good way to swap mods. Let me close this. This is we're talking to MN Millennial Farmer, and this is his farming pack. This I think is his cold storage shed that I've got over there. Love the sound effects on that. And I think this was one of the barns that got hit by that tornado last year at his facility. And then we've got, this is packed with fresh maize corn. I think we're at 100%. So yeah, this is ready to pull. We can feed that to animals. Let's, I think we've checked everything over here. I think we're good here. Let's hop in the 450. I'm going to go up to the house, and I want to check. I'm going to check my horse. I just got one horse. I should probably shut these. This is what I do. I walk away. Like I run up to the house to do the sleep trigger, and I leave everything open. Close that. I'm a terrible house guest because I've got all this stuff open. I don't think I've ever been in here. What's in here? Oh, it's kind of nice. Okay. Oh, okay. I feel like I could put something in here, like a couch or something like that. What's this? Ow! I did not know I had an office in here. Well, Zach apparently is playing Farm Sim 19 in his area. This is pretty nice. I like that picture of the Millennial Farmer farm right there. Very, very cool. I think there's a Millennial Farmer map that's in testing right now with Giants. Could be wrong. Whoops. That. Close that. I just want to run up to the house, check the horse before we call it an evening. Let me see this. I want to see how this grain dryer is doing as well. Got this on and running. Okay, so I mean, doing fairly well. We're cooking through it. I've still got to come up with a solution to make that work because the current setup is not going to work very well at all. Whoa, I just drove into my field. Whoa, yes, I do have a video out there building this farm. I think it is... No, I don't think I made one of me actually building the farm, although I might have. I'd have to go back and look. I cannot remember. I do know I have a full farm tour of it. So you're welcome to go check that out if you'd like. And as I mentioned earlier, you know, it's a nice long holiday weekend for us in the States. I'm going to do a build your farm this weekend. I'm going to force myself to do it. So I will do a farm build this weekend. Let's check and make sure. Come on. There we go. Okay, the horse is fine. Health is again at 0. Like his health never goes up. I ride him. I clean him. Provide water. Provide food. Health never does anything. So it could be the barn. I might have to rethink the barn. And similarly, I might have to rethink those pastures out there because their health isn't going up either, which is quite sad. And then look at it. Look at all these apples. All of Meg's apples from her orchard doing so well. So nice. And I do have a video out here of us customizing that that man cave right back there, my garage. This was a very fun build. Got my Lingenfelter Trans Am still over at the raceway. I need to bring it back. Did some testing out there with it. It's running 11s. Deep 11s at over 130 miles an hour. I really appreciate that, Woa. I really do. I enjoy making farms, and I really enjoy that you like watching me build them. We're going to build another one, I think, like I said, this weekend. But the GN is up on the lift. Everything is nice there. I got the old 93 Chevrolet there. I got Meg's Suburban here in the garage. I made a couple of modifications to it, and I mentioned that I found out you could open the hood on it. But it's got a 502 in it now. It's got a little more horsepower in the hood, which is nice. And I should probably make sure, you know, the dog's got food. Let's fill up Gypsy. And I never did find a way to improve the name of my dog. I wanted to rename the dog, but I didn't find out how to do it. Did not find out how to do it. I don't think he ever came either. Interesting. Well, you know, what we can do is we can just maybe light a fire here. Maybe get a little bit of music playing. And I think this might be a wonderful time to close out the opening for the first 2 fields in Hubbard, Nebraska on the Stover Farm. That fire feels nice. So nice. It's about supper time. I need to go in and see if Meg is there or if I've got to figure out what to cook. Maybe throw some steaks or some chicken on the grill. Looking out over the farm. We've got so many acres to finish cutting. It's not going to be easy. Not going to be easy at all. But I really thank you all for coming by. I cannot do this without you. I've said it in the past. I really appreciate your time. appreciate your comments. I appreciate that you enjoy chatting together, both in recorded videos and live videos. So that'll do it for tonight from Hubbard, Nebraska. We'll see y'all next time right here on the farm with the Stovers.